I'm here today working on a pole building. I just finished up my shop and I'm working on getting the walls switched over to some old rustic barnwood. I had a friend of mine that was tearing down an older barn in the area. Looks like late 1800s barn. We're not sure about the siding though because it's tongue and groove, but it's pretty old stuff. Here's a shot of some of it there that's still in the truck, and I'm working on getting it torn down and get the nails out of it, cut off the straight edges, and so I can use what I can. And I got some older wood and some other things around, but the goal is to try to put it on this wall and all the way down this wall here for my garage shop area. So we will see how it goes. I'm not gonna worry about cutting it down at the moment. I was gonna cut all the edges straight, but at the moment I'm gonna wait and see, what I need to use, how it looks on the wall, stuff like that. I don't wanna cut off too much and then, come up short or anything. And I might be able to put like a trim board up there to kind of cover up some of these rotten edges that were along the ground on the barn. I do have a pile here on the ground too of like extra scraps and things I can use for trim or anything extra I need. I would like to know the age of these. And if you have any speculation or anything, I haven't done any research yet, but if you have any speculation, I'd be interested to hear it in the comments. I don't usually work with barnwood or anything like this. It's kind of my first undertaking here, but I'm pretty excited about how it's going to look. I've seen a lot of like Pinterest ideas on the walls and some different rustic ideas I'm pretty excited about. All right guys, so I just put my first piece up on the wall here, and believe it or not, it is 12 feet tall, pretty much exactly between these purlins. Like, it fits perfectly. And I have a whole truckload still to go of these pieces. So I'm really excited. It looks like I'm gonna have to do very minimal cutting or fitting. I might do some trim with some of this, what was roofing slats. Might use some of that. And I have a lot of barnwood here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a hefty pile here I'm pretty excited about. I do believe I'm gonna be able to get this entire wall covered and probably around this door and window as well. That'll take some time to trim out and everything, but I'm pretty excited about it. It's going really well. I've been cleaning up the nails. As you can see, there's a lot of nails. I have to do a lot of sweeping and picking up. But it's going very well, much better than expected. I'm extremely happy with this wood for sure. And I really thank my friend who gave it to me. We exchanged a little bit of work for this wood, but I really feel like I've been blessed with this for sure. So. right, my goal with the nails, I was gonna try to pull them all out, but a lot of them are really in there and they're older and I'm worried it's gonna splinter the wood, but I also really genuinely like the look of the nails. I think it's got a good, more of a rustic look. And these are cleaning up quite nicely. I'm very excited. All right, so I'm wrapping these beams, my 4x6 beams in the barn, with some of this old roof plank. And it's going pretty well. It's got a little bit of an offset there, but it'll give it more of a rustic look. Stuff's going on pretty easily. I'm gonna have to get some more just because I've had to cut some down. But I'm basically wrapping the beam. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it kind of gives this manufactured beam a little bit more of an old rustic look. Definitely very excited about it. Okay, so I got my first beam wrapped, and then I got another beam wrapped here, and I'm gonna start putting it in the middle here. I know this GoPro lens is a little different, but I just wanna I was gonna wrap all the beams right away, but I wanna see how it looks, make sure I'm gonna like everything before I move too far forward. But I'm gonna start planking the wall now. All right, so I'm gonna have to rip the last one out, which I obviously knew I was gonna have to do, but my initial thoughts are this looks gorgeous. Like, I'm really loving it. It very much looks kind of, I think I'm gonna put a piece of trim across the top just to kind of dress it up a little bit. But other than that, it's really, really solid. I'm really liking it. It's gonna look great, I think. I was working on this angled part here for the support of the barn. I don't want to get rid of this, so I'm going to kind of bury it underneath. So I was working on these angles and I was really struggling, like majorly struggling. I don't have the right protractors and tools and everything I could have, so I'm just kind of trying to make it work. Finally, I was able to get an angle that I'm happy with, and then I cut a pattern that I can use over and over again. It's really helped me out. And as you can see when you get closer here, you can see how it pretty much fits together perfectly. And then I'll have another piece of board. So this one hasn't been denailed yet, but I'm gonna basically cut one of these to fit directly over top of it and kind of hide everything so that you don't see any of the new pole barn. I want more of the whole thing to look old and rustic. So obviously I got to denail some stuff and probably gonna have to go back over to the farm and pick up some more wood, but overall it's going together really well. I'm very happy with it. All right, so I'm finishing up or getting along this wall here, and I've already trimmed out the window with some of this old, these were like roof purlins, I believe, and it's turned out really well. I did have a gap above the porch outside that I may eventually want to put lights in, so I wanted to have access to that still. So instead of covering it up straight with the siding, I've decided to use this old, I don't know what this is. This might be a floor panel, I believe. I can't remember exactly where it came off the barn, but it's a real wide, it's like 13 and a half to like 15 inches wide. It kind of looks like a natural barn there, but anyway, it's only held up by a couple screws, so all I have to do is pull up a couple screws and I have access to the ceiling in there. And you can kind of see over here how it looks before that's on, but And then on this side, all I really have to do is I finished up this. I'm going to trim out that beam. Still need to figure out what I'm going to do with my electrical because I'm going to have a bench here. And I don't want to have the electrical all the way back in the corner. So I think I'm going to end up running it underneath the bench and kind of come out just underneath the bench. That way it's out of the way and it's, you know, easily accessible. But other than that, I just have the one piece of board to add to this wall and trim that out. And obviously I'm going to put more wood across the top here, but it's coming along quite nicely. All right, so we just finished up. We got everything done. We have a lot of cleaning up to do, but I just wanted to show kind of the finished product before I put my benches in. I didn't worry too much about the bottom trim as much. I did trim out the top, which I came out with some really nice big wide boards I was really happy with. I think they look really great up there to just kind of dress up the top. But on the bottom down here, it's just kind of, it's kind of where the ground was on at the barn, so some of it's kind of rotting away. But again, it gives it kind of a natural look. And then my bench is going to be right here. I'll have a bench here and then another longer bench here with my pegboard. But overall, you can see where I trimmed out the window. I think it turned out really nice. Up there, in the previously I spoke about how there's like an access port there to get to the top of the porch if I needed to. And then I wrapped all these beams, all the original post building beams with these Barnwood, which really gave it kind of a nice look here. I didn't go too close to the door, obviously, because I didn't want to have to mess with moving the door, framing the door anymore. But I mean, overall, it came out really, really well. This turned out really good too. My cuts, my angles turned out really good. Just kind of dressed up that beam, that post-building support. And like I talked about earlier, I'm going to do something with the electric on my workbench, so that's kind of just temporarily there. But overall, I think it came out really, really well. We have our bike stands here, but this is going to be mainly a bike shop. And I'll have some signage and some cool things up there eventually, but really, really happy with how it turned out.